Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Kimbo here, and it is time for an epic review. So it is on, of course, Bakugan Geogan Rising, episode 26, the final episode, the finale of Geogan Rising, man. So big time hype. This is what they built towards the entire season and such. Yeah, at least show wise, this is the shortest season we have gotten, but still very solid in my opinion, no doubt. And also, my hair is a little wet because I literally just got out of the shower, not having much time, making do with the time I got. You already know. So, uh, yeah, man, getting into this, it pulls at the heartstrings big time. I saw it and literally, whew, I'll say more, but we're gonna get into it. So, anyways, we got the final battle, that of course being Villock versus Drago. Ultimate Villock versus Geoforge Dragonoid. It was a kind of a given they were going to set up towards this, and sure enough, it is the final battle of the season. So, little recap. Uh, Magnus and Dan having their final battle for the battle judgment, but Villock interrupts it and tries to get Magnus to use the Geogan, the sixth Geogan, to make like Ultimate Nilius, and Magnus wasn't having any of it. And then Villock's like, "Fine, I'll do it." And then sure enough, he interrupts the middle of it and then just unleashes Ultimate Villock, and he gets the crystals from all the six different worlds of Astroya, and he slowly is taking the power of each of them. But in the middle of that, all the brawlers uniting their power, and all the Geogan, their Geogan combining with Drago, Geoforge Drago being made, leading to this final battle, this final showdown here. So overall, it's really intense, dude. Back and forth, Ultimate Villock and Geoforge Dragonoid getting some big time hits in. One of them was so strong that it sent lightning flying in the air. Like he literally is just flying. Yeah, he's like, I didn't want to laugh at that part, but I couldn't help myself. But somebody caught him. They caught lightning. Yeah, but anyways, all these hits are really intense. Both of them having like 2,000 B power. Like they're really strong. Yeah, and just super back and forth. It seems like Drago has the advantage a bit, but at the same time, Villock is taking the power of all the different crystals from all the different worlds. So one by one, he absorbs all of them, and then once he absorbs them all, he's at his ultimate peak of power. He's at his absolute peak power wise, and is trying to destroy the Nexus. That's what it's called, the Great Nexus. So the Nexus is basically like the portal, the big time thing that connects Earth and Vestroia. And from season one, like they had to join together because just Tico's influence and such. And then Havoc trying to destroy them both. But now Villock trying to separate them both, which would destroy Earth. But also, honestly, Vestroia wouldn't be in a good state either because they depend on one another. So it would have just been the end even for Vestroia. It would have gone downhill. But Villock sitting here trying to be an ultimate king and such with the ancient theory like, oh, Bakugan don't need humans or such, or like how we saw with Giltor and such, a few of the ancient Bakugan with the second season. Well, Villock's the absolute extreme and it shows. But he's trying to use all that power and such, but he finally absorbs all the crystals, and then after he absorbs all the crystals, Drago starts to struggle because Villock's at his ultimate power. But then all of the brawlers, like, all of their Bakugan and such, like Sharktar, Pinsittar, Fenneca, Farascal, Falcron, yeah, all assisting Drago with the help, like with their spirits. Because at first, like, Drago wasn't able to win on his own. So then he had to use everybody's power, seen this theme before. But all of them joining the power together. And when they do, he's able to stand back up, and then all the ancient artifacts that he has, they glow because like he has the spirits of all these other Bakugan and every other Bakugan too. Even Magnus with Nilius, took it. And if you look at the board, it actually shows like the red all the way up. So it's kind of given like in the battle between Magnus and Dan, like it wasn't no contest, but it was a given. Like in my opinion, Dan was gonna win it because Drago was up a little bit. Like Nilius is strong. It's a given. Like, look how people Magnus beat during that tournament. You know, he made it to the final, even taking out other awesome brawlers. But it's just Dan Kuzel that's had his number, and he had his number with this battle. And if it would have continued, definitely would have seen Dan and Drago taking the win with it. But Magnus getting super powerful. That's not saying he ain't strong, because, like I said, he beat other awesome brawlers. He's very powerful. It's a given. But yeah, uh, but they all give their power to Dan and Drago, you know, Geoforge Drago, and then with that power, their combined spirits, and they even show like the silhouettes of Pegatrix and Trox and Hydrus, man, and Howlcore and Feral, they're all there, like with the spirits, and then all the Geogan, all the Bakugan and such, and they all join their power with Drago, and the final showdown, the final blast, um, you know, it was really, really intense, man. Ultimate, like, I don't know what he called it, like ultimate 6 attribute attack or something like that Villock used, and then ultimate Phoenix Strike is what they used, man. Drago turned into like a phoenix. It was so cool. Like his power turned into a phoenix. Evolved from a dragon into like a big old phoenix. It was so cool. But with that, they defeated Ultimate Villock. And even during the battle, Crystal Blue was saying the Geogan are crying. They're suffering. And then the Awesome Brawlers being like, how does she know? Then Jenny explains how Crystal Blue is actually the only human that's gone to the world of the Geogan, you know? Um, and it changed her forever, you know? So she has the power to communicate with Geogan and sense their power. And then she was like, they're struggling, they're suffering. But then with this battle, they all got separated and such, you know? The same thing of like how Havoc tried to use multiple Bakugan, um, and you know, yeah, they used like how he used the ultimate Bakugan, like all these 6 Bakugan as a combiner in order to make Sabra Pyravian, and then they separate afterwards. Well, this is the case with this, except Villock's laying on the ground, you know, just weak and can't do anything. He was like so close to my goal. And then they're of course all celebrating and such, like we won, we saved it, you know, we saved the Great Nexus, like Earth and Destroya are saved, you know. So, yeah, they're not going to be separated or anything. They're going to be combined. Humans can still live with Bakugan, all that good stuff. This decided it. Uh, yeah, fully, even with Villock trying to be a dictator with things. And then they started shaming Reed because, like, because they awakened the crystal, you know? They awakened that crystal, and when they did so, that's when the Geogan were used, were forced to use their power. Like, had to use their power big time. They're like, maybe we relied too much on the Geogan, these ancient Bakugan, you know, these ancient creatures, ancient warriors. Um, and you know, Archelion was like, "It's okay. We just needed your like whenever you need assistance, that's our duty, you know, and that's what we feel in our spirits and our hearts." And Dan saying, "Well, yeah, it's understandable. We just used it too much, and we apologize." And then they all, you know, they understood, and then they started shaming Gregorius Reed, and Gregorius Reed's actually like, I didn't think it was gonna like cause the future of the world and such to be in peril. I wasn't trying to have that happen. So it shows like Gregorius Reed overall, he's like indifferent. Like how Villock at first was indifferent. Like I mean, like kind of a Goreen indifferent, you know. But he had the money and the power and such, and then tried to use that and work with Villock to have this idea come to fruition. Because you know, business, just the business sense. You know, he's doing it all for business. But you know, it doesn't seem like he's like a real bad guy. He just needs to stop freaking using his money and power and everything in that way. You know, like some dictatorial type of stuff. Nah, man. But you know, so hopefully he comes back as like a at least an anti-hero kind of character. It would be cool to see like how AA Animus, all of them, like Philomena and such, became like good characters more as it progressed, like in the second season and stuff. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing Gregorius Reed back in that sense. And Crystal Blue and Jenny went on a journey afterwards, looking for Bakugan and such. You know, they didn't explain much about the others, but before they had left, actually, Drago explained how he couldn't leave because he's a part of the Great Council. You know, they had to figure out how to punish Villock, and then after that, also find warriors to protect all of the artifacts. And then Pyravian suggests that it's actually them that do it. So like Farascal, Sharktar, Falcron, Pincitar, you know, um, Venica. I didn't say Venica. Yeah, like all of them to defend them. And then at first the Awesome Brawlers got really sad, and then Dan being sad because like Drago can't return. You know, but then Falcron's like, you can come and visit us whenever. You've got the portal, right? So you can come visit whenever. And then they smiled and such. Then we get a cutscene, like fast forwarding a little bit. Obviously, some time's gone on after this little epilogue that they made for the season. Of course, they're all sitting and they're just, they're just walking in general in town, and then they're looking up and they see a portal. They're like, a portal? What? And out of the portal, actually, slowly they transition. There's a figure coming out of the portal, but after that, it panned to like all of the warriors. So like Farasco, Fenneka, Sharktar, Falcron, Pinsatar, all of them in the different, like defending the different artifacts. And then they show a figure coming out, and it's actually Drago. And Drago was sent to protect the Awesome Brawlers. So Drago shows up out of the portal, and then Dan's like, it's Drago. And then behind Drago, you got silhouettes of very familiar Bakugan, man. So we see the silhouettes of Trox, of Pegatrix, of Hydrus, of Howlcore. Oh man, it's so hype. Of Pharaoh too. They're all in silhouettes in the maze behind them, and then they all jump and they're like, "Let's get to brawling!" And then that's how it ends. You see Drago, and then you see all their silhouettes. So that's the perfect segue. So it's a given. They're all healed up after their slumber from that battle, and they're all back. Segue into the fourth season, man. So that is the end of Bakugan Geogan Rising, the show, man. I'm so glad I was able to get caught up with it and such. Definitely worth it, and definitely an amazing season. Overall, my thoughts on it, it was epic. The way they did it, kept the balance with the Geogan, still with this. And also the Bakugan, you see the Bakugan not getting crazy power creeped in the show. It's still around like 500, 600 power. Love that, man. And the Geogan getting up to like 700, some getting up to 800. But still, that balance is there big time. It shows with the show. Absolutely phenomenal job, Spin Master. Honestly, like real straight. Like look at it compared to like the power creep that happened with the third season with the original Bakugan. Like the original Bakugan was amazing. The only thing bad about it was honestly the power creep and then implementing things like Baku Nano, Mectagon, and Mectagon Titans. That's my opinion on it, though. But with this, solid across the board. Characters from previous seasons 1 and 2 still showing up with this, having a big role in it. Still going to seeing some of the characters we don't see like that much. Still at least getting like a cameo or something for them with the episodes. Absolutely epic, man. Totally love the way that they're keeping the balance and even characters from the first 2 seasons with this. Keep it up with Evolutions. You got that balance. You maintain that balance. Definitely want to see it, man, for sure. And of course, in like including new characters. That's always fine. But including like the older characters as well and still having them show up, that's epic, dude. Absolutely love it. And keeping that balance. And the Bakugan keeping their B powers around like 500, 600. Yeah, man. It's just perfect the way they're doing it, for sure. So, yeah. Segue into Evolutions a little bit. Season 4. Basically been confirmed. Bakugan Evolutions. I'm so hyped for it, man. Yeah, with it, apparently we're gonna see like reskins of some older Bakugan, so like like Trox and some other Bakugan, like their original forms in Battle Planet, kind of with a new twist. Like they might have like some silver flakes and translucent plastic, and they use that more since they didn't do so that much for like the first season Bakugan. You know, um, going and doing that and won't even be upset because honestly you think about it, if they use those same molds, even like the figures for them in the show, that's fine because with the first season they never showed like the Bakugan stand. They started that with season 2, remember? And then they brought back the gate cards with season 3 in the show, and just so much hype, man. But yeah, so with it they could just show the mold even for like the regular figure, like like core Trox they gotta have show up, as the actual figure that Winton uses for Trox or something like that. They could do that because they didn't before in the show. So, yeah, man, won't even be upset. And just saying, this is the perfect opportunity. It's the perfect opportunity to release some Bakugan that we have not seen released or that they scrapped and such. Yeah, that stuff, big time for sure. And I'm really looking forward to it. But that big thing, obviously, I mentioned it with all the unboxings, all the videos and such, because it's that important. Spin Master, we really want shiny cardboard. We really want the cards. We really want the TCG, man. That is what everybody's waiting for, the main thing. Like, it's been perfect, honestly, the way you've done this with seasons 1, 2, and 3. All been amazing. Having characters from previous seasons show up with this season's, like the newer seasons, absolutely epic. Totally love it, and even the balance with the Baku gear, the way they balanced that in the show and the TCG, perfect. Honestly, love it. How they did so with the Geogan in the show and in the TCG, perfect. Love it, man. Absolutely amazing way of balancing things. is there a little bit of power creep going on? Like, obviously, as you get stronger, like, you got to make a little bit of stronger Bakugan, but they're not doing like too wild. And even if they're Bakugan, they're getting up there B power wise, they're balancing it by not giving them much damage, which that's still big time balance. It forces you to use damage cards in your deck. Otherwise, you're not going to really do any damage to your opponent. You know, it keeps that balance. That balance is definitely there for sure. Even if they have low B power, some Bakugan having really high damage balances it. Midas Indius, Mach decks, you know, damage decks. Gotta see more damage cards for sure. Yeah, but for real, the main thing we just got to see is the cards in general. Shields of Destroyer, Secrets of the Geogan, the GG set, whatever it may be, even the set after that. We just got to see those sets, Spin Master. So hopefully next year it's the time. It'll be perfect, man, because with how well Bakugan's been doing, because it's been doing well. It has been doing well. Even beating out apparently like Paw Patrol and such, which is big, man. That shows how much people love Bakugan. The way to push it over the edge, absolutely undisputedly, Spin Master, is getting the cards out. We're so hyped for the figures and such that are coming out this season. Cannot wait to see them for sure. But you get the cards out on top of that, that's where it's going to be the renaissance for this game. The absolute peak and such, where you're going to get so many people getting into it, man. You get those cards out there with people able to get them, not only in the U.S., other countries and such, and you get them out. You bet your butt it's gonna take right off, man, because that has potential to be up there with some of the greatest card games for sure. We just got to see the cards, no doubt about it. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna end it off here. Definitely let me know your thoughts on the finale in the comments if you've seen it and such, you know. But yeah, season 3, amazing. The way they built up things till now, absolutely awesome. Even with the 3rd season, how they did things, loved it. Can't wait to see season 4. For sure. I can imagine them implementing some metal into some Bakugan, which, yeah, definitely have to see that. Some Titanium Surge reference and such. And Evolutions, like I said, perfect place to put out previously scrapped Bakugan. And I'm going to have a whole video talking about it really soon. I just wanted to wait until I got through the entire series and saw everything that happens and such before making this video. So you already know it's coming really soon. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and Bakugan Brawl. I'm up out of here. I had to wear the Bakutober shirt for this and the Bakugan snapback for sure, man. You already know.